Good morning, dear ones. Now we will look at duality, negativity, positivity. What is negative and what is positive in your life, in the perception of your reality? What do you consider negative? What do you consider positive? Duality, for the most part, speaks for itself. You have one and then you have the other. That is duality. You have negative, positive, that is duality. Love and hate, duality, and so forth. So how do we label what is negative and what is positive? In man's mind, he sets up as negative those things that likely cause him discomfort, cause him to feel dissonant, cause him to feel separate and isolated. What is negative and what is positive? If you have a magnet, you have a negative polarity and a positive polarity. If you hold the magnet in your hand and just look at it, you cannot perceive which end is negative and which end is positive. In your science, then you label one charge positive and one charge negative. We get this belief into our minds and mindset that there are things outside of us that we observe or experience that are either negative or positive. What we label negative are the things, again, that put us into misalignment, cause us to feel separate. And it is indeed, for the most part, how we are viewing these things, how we perceive them to be, and the meaning that we often give to these things that in our own minds and realities we label as negative or positive. If I am walking down a city street and someone brushes past me and perhaps is holding a cup of coffee, and in brushing against me the coffee spills upon my garment, most likely I will have a reaction. And that reaction, in it, I may become frustrated, I may become upset in some way, and then I would, of course, label this experience as negative in my life. It caused me issues, it caused me problems, it made me stop. Even if it's just for a moment, it might make me late to my appointment that I'm going to. So, I am now upset, and I am now thinking, what a difficult thing I have just been through. What a way to start my morning or my day. So then, after this passes, I'm holding the frustration and I'm walking down the street as I go on to whatever appointment I have or issue I need to deal with. As I'm walking down that street, I come upon an accident. I'm looking at the accident again. Oh my, this is not a good thing. This is, I label again, a negative. For whoever is going through this accident is now going to have this issue to deal with. And I see that somebody close to the sidewalk has likely been bumped or hit by the disarray of the flow of the traffic and is lying there on the sidewalk, right where I would have been but a few minutes earlier. Now how do I label again the incident where I was stopped by the incident with the coffee and kept from being in that very spot at that very moment? Now, how do I label that past incident? Was it negative or was it positive? So you can see how our minds can be skewed and how we label something negative or positive as we view it through our lens of belief systems, not knowing what the future holds, not knowing why it occurred, nor stopping to decipher it. And there again is the accident. What do we know? Why do we label that as a negative? When we do not know the whole story, we don't know the people involved, we do not know why this occurred. And yet, for the most part, automatically, our minds and our mindsets are going to label it as a negative. So, dear ones, you see how, in this respect, when you are going about your day and all the experiences that you have are labeling things either as negative or positive, and in that respect, creating that duality that you are walking through. It truly is your own mindset and how you perceive and use it to label things, people, experiences as either one or the other. To bypass this duality, to exist in a state of alignment, again, one needs to come back to center. One needs to give up the judgment. Is it either negative or positive? If you choose to live in the mindset of things are negative, that is your perception and experience. If you choose to live in the mindset of this is positive or even neutral, that it could be a positive, then you live more in the neutral or positive mindset. It is truly that simple, dear ones. And again, so we come back to the flow of mindfulness. As you go out through your day and have the experiences that you have and perceive the world that you are creating outside of your mindset, outside of your ego perception and physical temple. Endeavor to become more aware of the thoughts and the judgments that you make and that flow through you throughout the day. And when you find yourself frustrated, angry, experiencing emotions you really do not wish to experience or live in, notice those thoughts that are putting you into negative, positive duality, and endeavor to remain more in a neutral observer state, being mindful of these thoughts and these emotions that run through you on a daily basis. Yes, it takes time to discover the beliefs that put you in a position of making these judgments and labeling things the way that you label them, giving them the meaning that you give them. But only you, dear one, have a hand in this, since you are the master creator that you are. It is in your hands, and we will state again, to use the temple, the mind, and the time that you are given in this world to be aware of the reality that is being reflected to you so that you can use it to bring yourself into alignment and to have more inner clarity, to free yourselves of the chains that you have created that put you in the position of a supposed mindset of negativity. So what, dear ones, is mindfulness for those who have not studied it or used it? Mindfulness is the simple awareness of what is flowing through your mind in the moments that you pass during a day. It's being aware of those thoughts. It's being aware of the ones that you put energy to and grab onto and use to create your reality. Only by becoming aware of this can you gain mastery over it. Awareness is the first step. So mindfulness in some form is essential for that awareness to take place so that you can tinker with your belief systems and your mindset to create the reality that you prefer to live in. When you find yourself in a position that you are beginning to label as negative, that is going to hurt you, that brings you discomfort, stop but a moment and take a deep breath. Center yourself to get a higher perspective. And ask yourself, what am I doing? Am I creating what I wish to create? Is this where I choose to live, what I choose to experience, what I choose to create? And if it is not, then stop and realize that there is a bigger picture that I'm not seeing at this moment. Observe what happens. Move on in a more observer, positive state about your experiences, for they are there to teach you and show you. Reflect back to you what is deep within your psyche, your soul, your spirit, who you truly are. It is trying to lead you, guide you, transform you. But transformation, the beginning steps are be aware so that you can master these things. This is so. And we leave you with these thoughts to ponder. We are again the Essene Masters. We shed light upon your path, love into your heart, peace into your minds. In the name of the glory of the morning sun, we leave you in peace.